Hey comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to do that all-important comic book review so you, the fans, can make a decision on what comic books to buy. And today, guys, we're talking about none other than the original web slinger himself, the Amazing Spider-Man. And this is issue number 7. Issue 7 already? That's ridiculous. But anyway, this is the continuation of the whole Mr. Negative story and Spider-Man doing battle against Cloak and Dagger. That's right, guys. Now, this book is written by Dan Slott, and the artwork in this issue is done by Matteo Buffagni. I don't know how to say that. The artwork for me is, it seems almost too dark for a Spider-Man title. It is nice artwork, but it's not for me. This is Peter Parker's face in this one panel. That's not Peter Parker, okay? I know he's supposed to be acting like he's evil and he's under the influence of Mr. Negative in this issue, but I don't care. He's like... And that just doesn't work for me. I thought that was so rough. But in this issue, you see that Peter pretends that he's under Mr. Negative's influence and in control, and we wind up seeing that he winds up going as Spider-Man and searching for this drug called the Shade, and he wants to put a stop to it, so he goes searching throughout the issue, trying to find this secret base of where all of these drugs are being processed. Another part of this story is you get to see the female by the name of Miss Tang really interested in this whole cancer research situation that this one scientist was working on. And Miss Tang goes to Peter and kind of begs for his attention, but he's so worried about actually trying to solve this case and trying to put an end to this whole drug lord thing and getting Mr. Negative behind bars that he kind of ignores the situation. Now, in the other part of this story, we wind up seeing Harry Osborn, and this was like the best page of the book for me. We wind up seeing him have business here, or a family dinner with Liz. And we wind up seeing that they talk about how she is the CEO of Acclamax, and how he is in charge of Peter Parker Industries in New York, and how the kids are doing. And so they have this family dinner and they talk, and then they're leaving the restaurant, and the next thing you wind up finding out is, boom, a new person just lands on the streets that's going to save the day. And that person is Regent. That's right, guys. And he just goes, yes, I am here to watch out for all of you, to keep you safe. Call me Regent. So this is the first time now that you really see Regent in an Amazing Spider-Man book, and we don't know his motive yet in this series. So as the issue progresses, we wind up seeing Spider-Man take on all these people that are working for Mr. Negative. You've seen a battle between Cloak and Dagger, and at the end they wind up disappearing because Dagger was exposed to all this shade, all these drugs and whatnot. So you wind up seeing them disappear in the issue, and then at the very end you wind up seeing that Miss Tang's interest in the cancer research was because it was her mother, I think it was her mother, who is really sick and dying of cancer. And so she reaches out to Scorpio and winds up asking that he has some medical treatments for her, and that she can help her mother until there's an actual cure. And he's just like, well, you've been, disposed from the gang for a long time. I should have cut ties with you a long time ago. And why shouldn't I terminate you? And she's like, because I have something that you would want. and she was the creator of that Spider-Mobile that we saw in the last issue when they were on top of the building when her and Peter were having dinner with each other. And so she looks like she's going to hand over the Spider-Mobile to Scorpio here. So, yeah, so that was a pretty cool ending. So this book was hit and miss for me. There was good moments in here, otherwise other moments where I just didn't care. I'm not a fan of Mr. Negative. I never have. And this is Dan Slott's character, and I just never found it really appealing to me. Yes, he is a street-level gang banger, you know, but it just doesn't work for me. I don't like him. I don't find an interesting villain. And the whole drug lord thing, I just find it very boring. I can see that in any comic. I can see that in Daredevil or whatever it is, and it just doesn't really interest me. I'm also not a huge fan of Cloak and Dagger either. So between those three characters, I think that's what's drawing my interest away from the book. You know, I just not finding it appealing. However, the good things about this book is I like the twist at the end, how we found out that Miss Tang was working for the Scorpio and his gang, and I wound up how she's willing to give away the Spider-Mobile. And then I also like how Regent was throwing into the mix of this book as well. So we get a glimpse of him, and you know that he's going to be in this series in the future, and it's going to make for a pretty intense story arc in the future. Another thing that I did like about this is we're having Peter, seeing him have trouble balancing his spider duties and his duties of a CEO. Kind of like him balancing his old relationships and things when he first became Spider-Man. It's just a new level of balance for him, you know, being CEO and Spider-Man. It's a lot of responsibility there for a man. So it was an okay book. It didn't really excite me all that much except for those couple of parts. So I think in the end, I'm going to give this one a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Might be a little bit rough on it for me, but I'm very particular when it comes to Amazing Spider-Man. So 3.5 out of 5 for me. That's where it stands. So guys, leave me in the comments below what you thought of Amazing Spider-Man issue number 7. And fans, until that next comic book review, check out Comic Book Corner Old School, where I review all classic comic books, and you can check out my group channel, Comic Frontline. And fans, as always, thank you for watching, and this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. Take care. Bye.